Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Venom, issue number 16. Kate's is back. I'm going to start right off with the one and only complaint I have about this comic book, and it's right here on the cover. This does not happen in the comic book. It does not happen at all. Y'all know how much that pisses me off when you got a freaking cover that advertises one thing and nothing else. Okay? There was no ice cream sundae with Venom in it inside this comic book, and that pisses me off in a major way. Actually, there's no Rhino in here either, but like I saw the ice cream sundae and I'm thinking a Venom flavored, I don't know about Venom flavored. That would be kind of freaky. It would probably taste like guts and oil, but like a Venom sundae. Hello, Marvel, doesn't Marvel have that Marvel eats the world thing on YouTube or something like that, right? I mean, if you're gonna do something like that, at least do a Venom ice cream sundae. What the frig? Maybe they have. I don't watch those things. Anyway, let's get talking about who made the comic book. Everything else in this comic book blew me the hell out the water, okay? Like, just damn the torpedoes and full speed ahead, baby. All right. Donny Cates is the writer. May have spoiled that already. Juan Guedon on art. Jesus Abertov doing these sexy freaking covers, man. The colors. VC's Clayton Cowles on letters. Joshua Cassara and Rain Barreto doing this cover. It was a lie. The cover was a lie, but that's okay. The carnageized variant cover artists were Ron Lim and Israel Silva. Like, I love that team together. These guys are just badass. I mean, one of the wielders of the original Infinity Gauntlet, for crying out loud. You can't go wrong. And if he says that Israel Silva is awesome, well, damn it, who the hell are we to say otherwise? So this is a freaking amazing comic book, dude. Look, Eddie does not have the Venom symbiote in this comic book. Yet, Venom is in this comic book. Venom does not appear in this comic book, but Venom is in this comic book. Venom and Eddie are completely separate, and we don't know where the Venom symbiote is right now, but we know where Eddie is. And yet, they're both in this comic book. How? How is that possible? Well, for the low, low price of $3.99, you can find out. And this is a comic book that is undeniably a keeper. Listen, my peeps, this is one of those comic books, pay attention now, that we are going to refer back to many, many times as to how Venom is done right, how Eddie Brock is done right. This comic book is pull no punches, no holds barred. You just got kicked in the nuts and you're forever going to say, thank you, may I have another. This was a sick comic. Eddie Brock is he's bottom of the barrel, man. And he's got this kid. He's got this kid that doesn't even know that he's his father. You know what I'm saying? He just thinks he's his big brother, something like that. But he knows. Eddie knows. He's got a kid. Kid's sick. Eddie's thinking to himself, you need rest and tomato soup. But we ain't got no soup. We ain't got no food. We ain't got no money. New York is finally clear from the War of the Realms. Jason Aaron finally decides, you know what, let's have some people just take a break for a minute, okay? We got to bow to Odin bowing to Thor, and we good, right? Eddie still needs some money. He still needs to buy food for his kid. Because as much as Eddie thinks that he's a crappy father, nah, man. Eddie's as good a father as anybody. And that plight, dude, I could go on for... what do you call it? Donny Cates talking about how he's got like 40 issues in mind. This cat can just do 40 issues of Eddie trying to be a good father. I would read the hell out of this. I don't need to see actual Venom anymore. But Eddie thinking that he's separated from the symbiote mentally, physically, sure. Mentally, nah, he ain't. He ain't. He's fooling himself. He's totally lying to himself. Eddie's got to go out and get some money. So he goes back to the newspaper he used to work for, talks to this dude who can give him a job. It turns out used to be Eddie's intern. But Eddie treated this dude right. So the dude's going to try and do what he can. Gives him a little mission. I know that the Lois Lane comic book is out, and there's some people who don't like it. I love the comic book because that's what a reporter is supposed to be. At this point, I want to see more of Eddie doing this. This is that reporting... Well, it's a little more violent than that, but this is that reporting that, I don't know, I wasn't even alive for, but I've heard about these people. I've read about these people. Police cases used to be solved by reporters, not by police. Heck, that Epstein case was solved by a reporter. Police let it go. That case was solved by a reporter. Eddie Brock could be one of those reporters. He could be one of those very rare reporters that sometimes exist, that sometimes they actually care about the story. It's not about neutrality. It's about finding the answers. I was so glued to this comic book, just forget about it. You're going to love who Eddie meets while he's out searching for these lost kids. These kids that were lost, mind you, during the War of the Realms. Oh, man, this was a moving comic book. All I'm going to say is Dylan gets his damn soup. And he's not very appreciative, but it's all right. It's all right because we get it. This was a damn good comic book, man. The only way this comic book could have been better. I'm just saying that freaking Venom Sunday is looking really good, man. Just whatever. I said what I got to say. I'm out. I'm done. Y'all need to read this comic book. This was a hot comic book. This is the definitive Eddie Brock. That's who this is. I don't want to see any other Eddie Brock written ever again. You know what I'm saying? I want Big Daddy Brock taking care of his son Dylan, all right? One day explaining to him, hey, man, and having to deal with the repercussions of that. That's the Eddie Brock. And who the hell ever thought that was the Eddie Brock we'd want to see? But that right there, dude. Boom, done. I'm done. All the other versions, disqualified. We're good now. We're good. Character development, baby. Character development. Learning how to be a dad after you just found out you were one. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.